Hi, and welcome to the next math lesson that you're going to do. Today is not going to be a math lesson per se. You're not going to learn anything new. However, this is going to be a lesson that asks you to remember everything you've ever learned. Okay? It's got a whole bunch of different skills that you need to practice. We're going to work through each one of these. I'm going to give you a little bit of space to think your way through them. And then I will kind of work through them with you and try my best to tell you my thinking about how we're going to do it. It's going to involve one of your pages like this from Stepping Stones. It's going to look just like the other pages that we've been doing, but it asks us to use a whole bunch of skills all at once. That's totally terrifying. I'm so sorry that I'm starting by saying it's going to need everything you've ever learned. It's not going to be that hard. We're going to work through it together. Don't worry, relax everybody. Okay, so you're gonna need page 129. It's got a little blue ice cream cone down here. It looks like the other pages because it's got our number line that it's here. It's gonna have this thing that says my number right here. It's got a whole bunch of different clues. We're only gonna work through one problem at a time. I'm gonna give you guys time to think about what it's asking you to do. I'm gonna read all of them for you. This video might be a little bit longer because I wanna give you guys space to think your way through it. I want you to kind of pause it after every time, and then we'll work through the answer afterwards. This is also one that you can work with a auntie, uncle, parent, older brother and sister. Whoever's the most patient is the person you want to work with for this particular problem. So auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, if you're watching right now, whoever is the most patient in the family for this lesson, you want to hand it off to them. I would hand it off to my partner in crime. She's way more patient than I am. For this particular one, because this one is all the stuff. It's like the whole book, okay? All right, so this is going to be a number puzzle thing, okay? Every single one of these is a different kind of number puzzle. You got to listen to it and figure out what it's asking. You're still going to use your number line. You're still going to use the ideas of greater than going this way. You're going to use less than going this way. Sometimes you're going to need to find numbers between this line. Sometimes you're going to need to find a starting point and add. Let's see what we got. All right, number one says your number is going to be one that has 1, 10, and 6 ones. So this one is asking us to find a number that has one group of 10 plus 6 ones, okay? So I want to give you a second. You guys might want to get a piece of paper for this. Try to find a number that has one group of 10, that means a big 10 thing filled all the way up. One group of 10s would look like this. It'd have 10 spots and it'd fill all the way up. So there's your 10 and 6 ones. So this puzzle is asking you to find something that has a group of 10 and 6 ones. So what is this number right here, okay? So if we look at all those clues, I made my 10, that's the first clue. The second clue was, and it had 6 ones, then we just count them. And that'll give us our answer for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So our answer for this first one is actually going to be 16. I know that because I made a group of 10s, which was my first clue, and then I added 6 more ones, and that was my second clue. So I've used both of those clues to be like, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. And if I do it right, it'll give you the right answer, okay? The second one says, has 1, 10, and 2 ones. So for this, I made this one up here. I want you to draw on a piece of paper a group of 10s. That's your first clue. It says, has 1, 10. So on a piece of paper or using your counters, make one group that has 10. Don't move on until you get that done. Count out 10 things and put them in a little array is what we call these. That's the first clue. Once you have that clue done and you've drawn it somewhere, you can put 2 more ones, okay? That's your second clue. So that's 2 clues in one. We have our 10 that we made. and then we're gonna add, or we're gonna have 2 1s, okay? So once you have both of those, all you have to do is count, and that'll solve that number puzzle, okay? So that's 2 of them I'm giving you, and I didn't give you a lot of space on that because I just kind of want to work through those. Once we get that done, we can just count these. So if you want to pause this and count those, that'll give you your answer, but I highly encourage you trying to go ahead and get your counters out and do this part, okay? That way you can practice that skill. All right, here's where we get a little crazy. So, letter C, you want to find a number that is 2 greater than 7. You want to find a number that is 2 greater than 7. So what I want you to do, your first clue is this than 7. 7 is your starting point on your number line. So find your 7 up here and circle it. Greater than is this way. Less than is going to be this way. So we want to find 2 greater. So we take it from here and we jump that way twice, 2 numbers. Just 1, 2 jumps. That'll be the answer for this because it says 2 greater. So we have to do 2 jumps on our little number line. Go ahead and try this one. Pause your thing. Try this one. When you're done with an answer on this, push play. And we'll move on to this one. This one reads, is 3 less than 5? Your first clue on this is this starting point with 5, okay? The first one we started on 7. This one we need to start on 5. So we're going to circle 5. And then we're going to take, because this says 3 less, we need to take 3 jumps back. 1, 2, 3. So I took 3 little jumps on my paper, and it brought me back to this number right here. So one number that is 3 less than 5 is going to be 2, okay? For the rest of these, it is going to ask you to try to find a number So this one's trying to ask you to find a number that if you add 4, it makes the number 6. Okay? You're trying to find the starting point. If you add a number and 4, it would make 6. So where could we start here that if we added 4 to it, makes 6? For this one, I'm going to recommend you actually start at 6. And the opposite of add is subtract. So why don't you take away 4? So make this one 6, take away 4, and it'll give you the starting point right here. Try to solve this 6 minus 4. You guys have been doing minus for a while, so try that. Start at 6, take away 4, and you'll find this answer. If you can't do that, no problem. I'm okay with you guys just kind of quickly working through this one and moving on, okay? We'll get to this stuff when you get back to school or when people come back to school. Don't worry about it too much. This one says, find a number that says add 7 and it makes 8. Add 7 to a number and it will make 8. The easiest way to find this is do it subtraction backwards. So you have 8 minus 7, and that'll give you this starting point. This isn't even a skill that you guys have been taught. So hopefully you can kind of make sense of it. So try 8 minus 7, it'll give you this answer. This one is subtract 1 is 4, so you need to find a number that if you started at it and you took away 1, it would be 4. The easiest way to find this answer is actually do the opposite of subtraction. Addition is the opposite of subtraction. So we're going to take these two numbers, 4 plus 1, and that'll give us our number that if we subtracted 1 would make 4. So for this one, I want you to solve 4 plus 1 for that answer. This one right here says Subtract 2 is 5. You're looking for a number that if you subtract 2 from it, the answer would be 5. The easiest way to find that one is going to be, not the easiest, but definitely the way you're going to eventually know how to solve it, is just add them together and you'll find the number. So this one says 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2, if you can solve this, you'll have your answer for this one. So for this page, I kind of gave you some of the answers. I kind of just led you towards how you're supposed to solve them. It's not much of a puzzle for you, but this is actually it's like a first grade skill. So you guys are kind of jumping ahead. Hopefully you could solve them on your own. Hopefully you can figure out what those answers are. Like I said, ask a parent to help you with this one. Ask any adult or any older sibling to help you with it. Maybe you guys can solve it without even watching this video. If you can, awesome. If you can't, don't worry about it. We'll see you next lesson. And once you get this one done, take a picture. If you've solved them all, take a picture and send it to your teacher. This is like gold star stuff. And if you haven't got it or you couldn't solve them, take a picture anyway. It helps us figure out how we need to keep teaching you. We appreciate that as well. So we will see you with the next lesson. I believe it's shapes for the next one. So that one should be a nice little brain break for everybody. We'll see you then.